let me start with this. Everybody's always selling you something. There's the truth in sports, and then there's what they're selling you, the consumer, and selling me, the reporter opinion guy in sports. So it is my job, I believe, to tell you the truth. What they're selling you isn't the truth, or there's a reason they're selling you something. So we know that Kawhi Leonard doesn't want to play in Toronto, right? Like multiple sources. Well. This morning the story comes out. Yeah, he's kind of warming to the idea of playing in Toronto. It's overnight. He slept on it. Had a nice steak last night, baked potato, woke up. I love Canada. Really? This is a guy that wants a major shoe deal. Unless he's trying to get a snowshoe deal, he's not getting it in Toronto. Okay, he doesn't love Toronto. Here's why that story's coming out. Because Kawhi Leonard, and he's right, needs to protect his reputation. A lot of people get fired. Mark Cuban got fired. Howard Stern got fired. Everybody's had a bad day, a bad month, a bad job. Kawhi in San Antonio. You have 2 or 3 of those, and you get labeled a flake, weird, odd, strange. Shoe companies don't want to do business. Aaron Rodgers could push back on the Packers front office. Why isn't he more aggressive like Kirk Cousins? Because he makes a lot of money with State Farm. A lot of advertisers like Aaron Rodgers. Good-looking guy, middle of the country, heart of America, Green Bay Packers. He starts saying $25 million a year is not enough. I am holding out. And State Farm's like, we're holding out too. Aaron Rodgers gets the game. He's a smart guy. He's very sellable right now as a Midwestern commodity. And Kawhi Leonard right now, that San Antonio thing was weird. He doesn't talk to anybody. The Spurs system, he's the first guy that discombobulated. He can't kill his reputation. Dude wants a shoe deal. He wants commercials. He wants to play in Los Angeles. Here's the facts about Toronto. They made this deal because, A, they wanted to get out of Demar DeRozan's contract. They also want to get out of Serge Ibaka's contract. Eventually, they want out of Kyle Lowry's contract. Really, Kyle Lowry, $31 million a year? It would be great if Kawhi, and I think they'll be pretty good this year with Kawhi. Right now, this year, short term, they'll be good with Kawhi. But Kawhi should realize they're going to reboot. They didn't like DeMar DeRozan's contract. They don't like Lowry's, frankly. They like him as a guy. You don't want to pay him $31 million, really? Really? And they don't like Serge Ibaka's contract, so they're going to reboot this puppy. Listen, the media's fascinated with Toronto. They got a cool story. We are the North. Media loves stories. And they also, it's a hip city, and people in the media are not hip. But if they embrace on social media cities that are hip, it makes them hipper. And Toronto's hip, cool, diverse, urban. But players don't want to play there. Steve Nash was a Canadian. He passed. Okay? Vince Carter, get me out of here. T-Mac, get me out of here. Kawhi yesterday, no thanks. Suddenly now, oh my God, he's warming up to the idea. Can't wait to play there. Tax rate's brutal. Winter's bad. Can't get a shoe deal in Toronto. And a shoe deal means a lot to Kawhi Leonard, and I've told you this before. Because James Harden's making $200 million for one, and he's making $500,000 a year, and he's a better overall player than James Harden. Now, James Harden's got the beard and the mojo and the points and the game and the style and the commercials, and for a while a Kardashian, but in the end it shouldn't be $200 million for Harden, $500,000 for Kawhi. It should be closer to $200 million for Harden and $75 to $80 million for Kawhi. Right now he's making $500,000 on shoes. Canadian guys don't get shoe deals. Okay, so this is a nice story, but being the man in Toronto, remember Drake is from Canada and Bieber's from Canada. They do most of their business down here. Greg Popovich and the Spurs say, quote, "We are very happy what we got here with DeMar DeRozan." Everybody's selling that in the media. Everybody loves it. Everybody's happy. I was reading a bunch of reporters yesterday. Good job. Okay. Kawhi's a top 5 player in the league, and you got a $28 million guard who can't shoot. He's a career 29% three-point shooter. Almost $30 million a year. By the way, in the playoffs, it gets worse. In the playoffs, his career three-point percentage is 23%. Apparently, he plays blindfolded in the playoffs. Last year, he was benched against Cleveland. Disappeared when they left Canada. By the way, DeMar DeRozan's a good kid, works hard, can get you buckets. But he's been in the NBA for 9 years. The Spurs system's not going to transform him. 9 years in any business and you know what people are. I've never worked with a single person on radio that 9 years in, they're a slappy. Year 10, they're Hall of Fame material. It doesn't work that way. I can listen to a tape for 90 seconds. Good. Not good. 9 years? I need 9 years to transform you. Never been a guy in the law office for 9 years. He's an average C-minus attorney. Year 10, he's Johnny Cochran. It doesn't work that way. Now, he may be really, really talented. Kevin Garnett breaks into the NBA. He's not an all-star yet, but you see the talent and the potential. We know what Demar DeRozan is. We know what he is. Good kid, works hard, very vertical, not really a shooter in a shooter's league. Your legacy in any business is defined by year 9. Nobody pops in year 9 and 10. DeMar DeRozan's going into what, year 10? Now, baseball players popped in year 10. Yeah, 237 hitters became Joe DiMaggio. They would later appear in front of Congress. Yeah, you know that era in baseball where a 5-tool player, one of the tools was a syringe? Yeah, in baseball, guys would pop. 237 hitter became Mantle. They were taking cattle steroids. That's also happened in cycling, where a guy's an average cyclist, and now he goes to the French Alps and is Bugs Bunny. Okay, there's something going in his butt, his arm, his thigh, his something. We know how it works. Victor Oladipo, most improved player in the league. What year was it? Year 4. Kevin Love, most improved player in the NBA, year 3. Paul George, most improved player in the year, year 3. CJ McCollum, most improved player in the NBA, year 3. Giannis, most improved player in the NBA, year 4. Okay, the Spurs did fine. They did okay. The Raptors got a great player who can now be a great bargaining chip to rebuild. Toronto won this deal. In the NBA, and I've been following it for 4 decades, whoever gets the great player wins the trade. The Raptors got a great player, and they're going to keep him for as long as they can. And if he plays the entire year, they're going to be a very, very good basketball team. They'll probably end up, I would guess, playing the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Championship. That's probably where they'll be. Or they'll be darn close to it, playing the Sixers in a long series to get to the Celtics. DeMar DeRozan, 9 years in, think he's heading to his 10th. He's fine. He's not an all-star in the West. Good dude, works hard, gets you buckets. But again, start the show today. Kawhi doesn't suddenly love Toronto. And the Spurs did fine. Okay. I still contend they were offered more picks and more talent when this story broke about Kawhi in LA by the Lakers. And they tried to bully the Lakers, and the Lakers backed out. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.